and well away from Seamus Clancy. Clancy trying to pin a tackle on him now. Still Corkery. Oh, it's a goal!
The final of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship, played here at Croke Park in Dublin on the third Sunday every September, is regarded as one of Ireland's greatest sporting occasions. The 1994 final will see a completely different Croke Park. Already the old Cusack stand is gone as Croke Park moves into a brand new era. But one thing is certain, the man who stands here and receives Ireland's most famous sporting trophy, the Sam Maguire Cup, is quite rightly regarded with considerable envy by everyone involved in Gaelic games. In 1991 and 1992, the respective captains of Down and Donegal were duly honoured. And even before a ball was kicked in the 1993 championship, Ulster's aspirations of a third successive title were very high. But the Munster, Leinster and Connacht championships were certain to provide challengers who would question those Ulster hopes. So sit back with us in some distinguished company and savour the highlights, if you will, of the 1993 All-Ireland Football Championship.
Dropped in. He got away just momentarily there. Kavanagh kicking, scored and saving rather brilliantly.
We start our review of 93 then in the West. The Connacht Championship sure to be as competitive as ever, as no doubt our panel will confirm.
Yes, hello and welcome to the Burlington Hotel here in Dublin. We're going to take a look and review some of the highlights of the championship in Gaelic football in 1993. I'm delighted to say joining me today are four people who know very much all about the game. Damien Barton, who played centre half forward for Derry in the All-Ireland winning team. John Finn, defender from Mayo, a man of great experience. Of course, John O'Leary, the Dublin goalkeeper, the team beaten by Derry in the All-Ireland semi-final. And Bob Holohan, a mentor and selector from the Cork team. As I say, we're going to take a look and review the highlights of the year. We're going to start at Martinvich Park in Sligo. Sligo against Mayo in the Connacht Championship.
Coming up to half-time, Mayo had taken over completely with a string of points, like this one from Tony Morley on the run. Fintan Feeney at the second attempt, getting it to full forward Tommy Dignan, and he sent over superbly. Then a second Sligo penalty. Fintan Feeney took it again. This time he got the goal. More scores followed. This was the last one, a brilliant penalty by Raymond Dempsey to make it 1-14 to 1-6.
We went in at half-time and I think we were about 7 or 8 points in the lead, and we kind of sat back in our laurels expecting probably, you know, we didn't have to do much in the second half. In Sligo, in fairness to them, they came back and I think they drew level with us at one stage, and it put us under severe pressure. Leitrim is a team that, as far as management is concerned over recent years, they've become very professional with their approach.
Common getting the free kick, holding it midfield. Down towards Lorcan Dowd, judged it perfectly, skips away from Mickey Quinn. And that's Paul Early! The goal by Paul Early! After 20 minutes of the first half. Conlon for Leitrim, a Leitrim side trailing by a goal and 4 points to 2 points. Nicely on. Conlon once again, the starter of that move, and he finishes with a goal! That brings Leitrim right back into it. Back to Darcy, have to get this one, does so! Oh, it's struck over the bar magnificently by Declan Darcy. Tommy Grehan's free kick. 15 seconds to go, not counting injury time, and that's kicked high and over the bar by Lorcan Dowd. Lorcan Dowd's second point, 112 to 19. And now it looks good for Roscommon and not so good from a John O'Mahony point of view.
I actually thought Leitrim would have done a lot better in this year's championship because they seemed to play a lot of football and they had a bit of understanding, and there's a bit of teamwork going on there.
Roscommon have an enigma. They seem to forget that you have to score to win matches.
Quite high, being cut by the breeze and dropping within his own 45. Paul Early. Was that a throw? No, says referee. Damien Donlan. Give it back to Tommy Graham, who has a goal from way out the field, and that's a great point. Free for Mayo. Ray Dempsey. As Gay Sheeran races back into the goal. And it goes over the bar. Well, I haven't seen that happen before, I must say. Kevin O'Neill. Sending a great ball into space. Running onto it is Ray Dempsey. The Knockmore man drives it in! A goal from Mayo! A real beauty! Here comes Mayo now. Cleverly giving it outside to Noel Durkin. To Kevin O'Neill. To equalise, perhaps. The umpires say yes, the sides are level. Kevin O'Neill once more. That looks a very good shot. Kevin O'Neill's third point of the Connacht final. It puts his side 1 point in front. Kevin Byrne gets the cup and brings it back to Mayo for the second year in a row. Much to the delight of a Mayo following, a huge Mayo following in Dr. Hyde Park.
Just one kick of a ball there by Kevin O'Neill, that actually won the game for us. And that's the difference between winning and losing a Connacht final or an Ulster final.
And so to Munster, the province that dominated All-Ireland football for most of the 1980s. Hopes were high that the 1993 champions would emerge from this well-balanced and very intriguing draw.
This is the man who started the day at full forward, Pat Murray. Limerick needing a few scores badly to stay in this championship tie in a meaningful way. They may get one here. Kelly, penalty! And it's in! Someone's easily rounding Sean Cullum. Nice ball forward again for the goal scorer, and he's in with another chance. O'Donnell, but is it going to be allowed? It is! It's Pat Maguire coming in. The defence will have to be disciplined. Played back well. And was that a push? It's a penalty. He's gone for a goal this time and he makes it. Sean Keane having some difficulty. It breaks down nicely for Hogan. Here's the goal chance, and that might well wrap up this Munster Championship tie. Tip coming forward again, Davy Hogan. Well, he's already scored a goal in this match. Players to support him inside. Well, that's another beauty. Brian Larkin just keeping the attack going. James O'Donovan nicely inside. Is there a chance here of a late goal for Limerick? Well, it was Eddie Halvey, and the referee has awarded a penalty. Niall O'Donnell looking to kick another one and put a healthier complexion on the final score. It's 3-18 to 3-8.
Tipperary actually are not as bad a team as the team they played, or when Cork beat them. I don't think they were, they're capable of more.
Yeah, that would have been considered a surprise on the day, as Limerick had been in very close to Kerry 2 years before and declared the previous year.
Don Davis threading it back to Cahalan again. Goes over Pat Murray's head on towards Joe Kavanagh, looking for a colleague. Straight away spotting the Corkery. He's got away and well away from Seamus Clancy. Clancy trying to pin a tackle on him now. Still Corkery. Oh, it's a goal!
That is an absolutely wonderful goal from Kieran Corkery. He took on Seamus Clancy, his strength got him past, and he rattled the back of the net with it.
Just 13 minutes gone and the sides are level. That ball picked up by John Enright for Clare. Getting support here. Morrissey trying to sell a dummy, trying to go by Teddy McCarthy. He does so successfully as he takes that ball. Good shoulder. And John Enright kicking it over the bar. Another great defence-splitting pass. Colin Corkery is having a great match. Back to Mick McCarthy for Cork. Drilling it low towards John Cleary. This could be dangerous. And it's over the bar and the sides are level. O'Sullivan belting it in, that's Kieran O'Sullivan, touched down by Colin Cork to Mick McCarthy, and Cork have gone in front. Killeen once again. Oh, there's a player inside there, and he's got it, and it's a goal! And it's Martin Daly who's done it. The wind seemed to hold it up, and the sides are level.
Martin Daly got to the ball first, and a very, very well taken goal. Low shot underneath John Cairns.
1-8 for Cork, 1-8 for Clare. Clare the Munster champions, Kavanagh going through, and Cork are back in front again. The break of the ball picked up here by John Cleary. Nippy corner forward outside to Colin Corkery. Against Seamus Clancy, who's had a fairly torrid afternoon against Corcoran. On towards Don Davis. Davis reacting quickly. Pulled down. Is that a penalty? And the referee says yes. So Colin Corkery with a goal and 3 points so far. Will he go for a goal here? He rolls it in confidently. A second goal for Colin.
I felt very sorry for the cornerback that day because he was made look very, very ordinary.
Seamus Clancy.
He's such a strong, talented player. He's a good player.
He's getting a good goal coming up here, I think. It's the goal that brought Cork to Croke Park.
Yeah,
I
super
think
goal.
that's a tremendous shot.
That has to be one of the scores in the season, hasn't it, really, when you look at it?
Yeah.
He takes his man on, runs around him, and no messing.
But I would say that the first half display in Ennis was Cork's best of the season.
This is Cork and Clare, yeah. Once again, Cork had to go in and do it the hard way.
Fisting it away from danger. Burke once again crossing the 45-metre line. Eamon Breen. Dermot Hannafin just having to adjust his balance somewhat to get it onto right boot and to kick over the equalising point. It's bounced down off Bernard McElligott, and Cork are winning at midfield. Kieran O'Sullivan dropped in. He got away just momentarily there. Kavanagh kicking, scored, and saving rather brilliantly. Now can they turn defence into attack? A certain score at one end, a chance at the other now for Cork. Colin Corkery right on the end line, holds onto it, players calling for it. It's Coffey nipping in, and Coffey's missed it. What great defence. Kavanagh still blasting it off the goalkeeper. An amazing spell this, and finally it's a free out. Tompkins can take it. Joe Kavanagh getting well away from Culhane again. Ominous, because it gives the full forward a chance to set up a scoring chance, and that he does. The second point for Joe Kavanagh, 2 points between the teams. He won the race against Kieran Culhane, and that was enough. It's as though there's no inside forward line functioning just at the moment. Joe Kavanagh trying to do something about that. Trying to pick out Colin Corkery, trying to set himself up for a scoring chance. John Cleary instead, and he's picked out the range on this occasion. John Kearns here facing Kerry for the 11th time in the championship. Shay Fahy coming racing for it, but it's Seamus Moynihan who got the fingers to it, won by Tony Davis however. Cork's team captain in the absence of Mick McCarthy, wonderfully blocked down by Sean Burke. Larry Tompkins driving it in towards Colin Corkery, just touching it down to Kavanagh. Chance to seal this match now, and it's there! And Joe Kavanagh may have missed a few in the first half, but he gets a goal finally, with 5 minutes remaining. A goal he deserved for all his promptings earlier on. A goal that puts a fair bit of daylight between the teams.
But Kerry was very, very disappointing on that day.
I mean, they had the chances.
Cork won by 3 points. It should have been 15. I don't think, despite how much Cork were in control of the game in Killarney, in the last 20 minutes Kerry came back at them, and without Tompkins I don't think we would have won. He was the decisive influence there in Killarney.
An anti-climax, Bob, without taking away from Tipperary too much.
Without taking away from Tipperary, one would have to say that, yeah.
Before Maguire plays it up to O'Sullivan, Kieran O'Sullivan, Mark Farr, John O'Driscoll. John O'Driscoll takes it back from Joe Kavanagh and lands another score. Cork 3, Tipperary no score, 6 minutes gone. That was Brian Corcoran breaking out of the back, playing it up to Mick McCarthy, who led Skib to the championship in the clubs earlier this season. Jerry Ryan is the man who's with him. That's Colin Corkery. That's a score. and Cork are flying. To Sean Brett. Derry Foley, the knock on to Davy Hogan. Hogan lays it now to Mark Sheehan. Sheehan goes for it and Tipp have got their first score of the game. Pat Maguire here for Tipperary, getting away from Anthony Davis. Getting inside Mark Farr, looks up for the post. Oh, it's a great point. Brilliantly taken by the centre-half forward, Pat Maguire from Lapton Cullen. A lovely, lazy style. Joe Kavanagh, oh, beautiful swerve by Kavanagh. That's a piece of individual flair. Wonderful play, comes back to John O'Driscoll, and he takes his point. It really is the foundation of most of their troubles. The bad pass. Cork passing is good, as you can see. It was John O'Driscoll to Barry Coffey to over the black spot, and Coffey's got on the score sheet. Here's Davy Hogan, this elusive, hard-running left corner forward. Trying to get away from Mark Farr. He's done it. He's in for a goal. Cairns got his hands to it. It is a goal. Davy Hogan, the scorer. A terrific run. John O'Driscoll showing a lot of pace with the cycling shorts. The chance is on. Michael McCarthy. Perfect goal.
"15 minutes, Cork were well ahead."
Yeah.
But I suppose it did show up chinks in Cork's defensive armour, that particular game, you know, which were maybe exploited by Derry in the final in the end of the day.
Well, funny, we watched that game the weekend before the All-Ireland final, and at half-time we turned it off because we felt that it wasn't a true reflection of what Cork could do, you know. I mean, really, they were up against nothing. Admittedly, their forwards were moving well, defence was attacking well, but it was such a one-sided contest. I mean, you couldn't really gauge how good or how bad they were, you know. But I must say they were going very well now. It scared us a bit.
A National League title win for Dublin had confirmed their re-emergence as a major force for the All-Ireland. But they had first to retain their Leinster crown, for which there were plenty of serious challenges.
The wind favouring Longford. They're playing from left to right as we watch. Torrick Farrell, he has already got one very good point with his left foot from the right-hand side, and now he's got a super point with his left foot from the left-hand side. Lovely close control, lovely turn. And up in attack is Benny Claffey for Offaly. Cahill Lee there for Longford. And the punch over the bar, and Offaly take the lead. 10-9, Offaly 1 to the good.
But I mean, one of the mysteries is how far down Offaly have gone.
Having won the All-Ireland 82, I mean, they totally disappeared off the map. And, you know, they've produced good under 21 teams and minor teams in the last couple of years, but just whatever happened, they haven't made the breakthrough to senior football.
I think that was as poor a game as we saw during the summer, that particular game.
Wexford Park is a very tight, you know, small, narrow pitch. Wexford are a big, physical, strong team. And, you know, Dublin like to play, you know, an open, running game, and it's because of the tight pitch, it's very hard to find a room.
Number 12, Niall Guyden. And Niall Guyden had a hand in the first score of the game, which didn't come until the 8th minute. Jack Sheedy, giving the ball to Niall Guyden, took the challenge well. A little run by Niall Guyden, and when it fell loose to Desi Farrell, he gave a good ball to Paul Beelan, and Jack Sheedy had come forward to help. And Paul Clark it was who put the ball over the bar. Paul Kern loves to come forward. A good run by Jack Sheedy. Unchallenged Jack Sheedy, playing well this season and has the confidence to take his point. In the second half, the tempo of the game dropped. Indeed, so disappointing an encounter that the only goal of the game was disallowed for that just off-the-ball challenge as Niall Guyden was lobbing Wexford keeper John Cooper. However, Dublin quickly got it right. The ball bouncing kindly for Jack Sheedy, and a typically powerful surge from midfield riding the tackles well, looking up, giving the ball through to Vinnie Murphy, who had played a lot of the game at full forward, out to support Jack Sheedy, transferring to Desi Farrell. The hop gave Desi Farrell time to look at the target, and Dublin accuracy on the day could not be faulted, and they were well on their way to a comfortable victory.
We had struggled against them in the league earlier on this year.
Wexford had come off a good league run.
This is a poor match here. Is this one of the reasons why Kildare haven't emerged?
Well, I thought Kildare had turned the corner there because they made a tremendous recovery.
Here's Raymond Dan's kick. Huge one inside there, touched on, and it's a goal! Great fetch by Seamus Dowling. Good support play. The entire full back line then eventually getting the ball out, but only as far as Billy Kenny, and here it comes for Conan Day. Save, if not, sin! Conan Day! He's got a goal and 4 points.
Kildare's obsession with short passing got them into a lot of trouble the first half. It'll be interesting now with the wind to see if they play the ball a bit longer.
Tom Harris. Martin Lynch moving in menacingly. Kildare needing a goal quickly. Martin Lynch might supply it. He does! That might transform this match. O'Connell. Nicely forward to Johnny MacDonald with 3 minutes left. Kildare know what they must do. They've got to try and get a goal somehow. Martin Lynch. Still Lynch. He's got one! Carried on splendidly here. Doyle. High up into the air. It's gone over the bar! The substitute, Dermot Doyle, has put Kildare in front in dramatic fashion.
It's like Offaly, maybe they just need to make the breakthrough.
I think Kildare would be anything like Offaly. I think in that Offaly are, at their best, genuine championship competitors. Dower, Kildare seems to lack. Possible, let's put it.
That was a great score. We talk about goals and that was a great score.
He actually came on as a substitute that day.
That's right. That's right.
That was his first touch, I think.
Yeah, this was a difficult game for Meath because, Laois had beaten them last year.
Colm O'Rourke to run onto. The referee giving the free to the big Meath corner forward. Quickly taken across to PJ Gillick, giving it outside to Colm Brady. Colm forcing his way through. They've got an opportunity here. Oh, what a start from Meath! A brilliant move, started by Colm O'Rourke, created by Colm Brady, who kept running through and finished splendidly to the net. Johnny McDermott, ball into space for Graham Geraghty to run onto. Chasing after him is Colm Marr, giving it back to Jody Devine on the run. It's floating, and it's floating over the bar. Comes back to PJ Gillick. Running outside at the far side is Graham Geraghty. But sticking with him was Colm Marr, but it's Geraghty that has it. Good play by the right half back. Giving it to Brian Stafford, usually deadly from that angle, and he's deadly in 93 in Portlaoise. Brian Stafford. That's a good ball over towards David Beggy. PJ Gillick. Oh, lovely play by Meath. PJ Gillick gives a great boost now psychologically to Meath.
Laois are always hard. We talk about the Ulster Championship being hard. There's very few Ulster teams would like to go to Laois to play the first round of the championship, would they?
A good goal there, typical Meath goal, a quick.
Typical Meath goal.
Typical Meath goal. I mean, you can look a very quick sideline ball by O'Rourke, looks up, sees Gillick in the middle.
Brian Stafford had to be brave there.
Were you worried about this Kildare team coming through?
Well, you're worried that if you do what Offaly had done to any small degree at all, that they will actually, you will allow Kildare to do what they can do.
Paul McLaughlin. Away from Sean McAvoy. He's got Anthony Wren. Miley. Miley back to Rainbow. Chance of the goal. And it comes off the upright. Buckley again. Buckley to Miley. And breaking through is Glenn Ryan. Offaly looked gone. Leg weary and torn. And Glenn Ryan puts it over the bar. Drive through the centre. Johnny McDonald into Lynch. Lynch to Miley. Miley to Derry Doyle. Take it out. Great goal by Kildare. Super piece of football by the Lily Whites.
I think Meath were the unlucky team of this year's championship. If we go on this, I think they should have won this game. I think they finished with a total of 13 wides, which is most unlike Meath.
This is Jim Gavin again. A testing one which is curling right in under McQuillan's crossbar, and Billy Murphy! But the referee has blown his whistle. Brian Stafford. Ball into space for Tommy Dowd to run onto. Chasing after him is Paddy Moran. To Colm O'Rourke. The build-up may be slow, but the finish is as good as always. And it's Graham Geraghty again, giving it to Colm O'Rourke. Back to Graham Geraghty. Remember, he's the right half back, bursting his way through. A goal, but the referee has blown his whistle. The referee has blown his whistle, and Graham Geraghty says, for what? Here comes Colin Brady. And Colm O'Rourke did well to gather possession with that sort of a hospital pass. It's O'Rourke putting Dermot Deasy out of the way and putting it over the bar. Colm O'Rourke, and they thought in Meath he was going to retire. Goes back to Paul Phelan. Great run by Jack Sheedy, bursting his way through, giving it to Charlie Redmond. Oh, what a goal! Now that is magic. Charlie has now got 1 goal and 5 points in this semi-final. In towards Tommy Dowd, who's now been more mobile out around the half-forward line. Gets it across to Colin Brady. It was a terrible pass to PJ Gillick, going for the equaliser, and he's done it! PJ Gillick. Charlie hitting it straight in through, and it puts Dublin back in front by just 1 point. He's looking for a quick one. To Colm O'Rourke from way out the field. Is it another equaliser? It is! The man from screen has done it once more. And here come Dublin. Niall Guyton giving it back to Pat Gilroy. It's up to Tom Howard. Can Dublin avail of it? Charlie Redmond, well blocked down by O'Malley. If he never did anything else, he did well to get that one. And Jack Sheedy sends it over. Incredible stuff in Croke Park. And everybody is on their feet. The referee blows the final whistle. Jack Sheedy scores the winner in injury time.
But I mean, it was a difficult game again for Dublin. Dublin-Meath games are always very, very close. And
there's a Derry man and a Connacht man and a Mayo man looking in. Whenever Meath played Dublin, it's always a bit special, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's, you always associate it with the All-Ireland finals. And what year was that? They went to the replays, or
1991.
I mean, they were classic struggles, you know. But it's as good as an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, we often reckon it's a pity we can't play each other in an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, it certainly is. And despite the great rivalry, invariably it's a hard but sporting game, you know. But this was an unreal first half in that it was like a soccer game where one team sat back and defended. Kildare
That's right.
withdrew men, defended.
Sweeping this time is Paul Curran. Jack Sheedy. He loses it, but the ball favourably dropping back into the arms of Paul Curran once again. Now Kieran Walsh, when given directions by Curran that Paul Phelan was free. Controlling with some difficulty, kicking, looking for the first point from play. It finally comes in the 34th minute of the first half. Keith Barr kicking. Good deep ball, but going towards the right-hand side. Coming out now to Sean McGovern. Johnny McDonald trying to take it away from Keith Barr. That's good defensive play. Now Desi Farrell. Farrell looking for another Dublin score. Dissecting the post magnificently. Keith Barr now playing a kind of Martin Lynch sweeper role. Dealt it forward there. Runs on to Pat Gilroy. Looking for another score. That's a great point. At this stage they'll be hoping that Dublin begin to tire. No evidence of so far as Keith Barr Pulls his shot just to the right. Great catch by Vinnie Murphy. Outside to Heary. Angle was tight enough for him. The backs grouping well, trying to hold up Vinnie Murphy and company. Passing outside to Heary. Such good understanding. Mick Galvin kicking. That's a great point. That's one of the best points of the match so far. Here's MacDonald. Keith Barr. Really stringing this defence together this afternoon, Keith Barr. Urging them on. Jack Sheedy. His side ahead by 8 points to 2. Having a winning look about them at this stage. Vinnie Murphy going away to top of the left. Davy Dalton following. Vinnie angling for the score. A fine point. The first of the match. Well, what a transformation. John O'Leary has a 5th Leinster medal. More importantly, he has the cup. Dublin are the Leinster champions.
On the day, Kildare got their tactics wrong, but they went out and tried to rough it, let's say, with Dublin.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they played a physical enough game in the first half, and you know, it didn't really work for them, as opposed to other years when they've played, you know, a lot of football against us.
But it's amazing that nobody out on the pitch. I think that's where Kildare lack leadership on the pitch. Nobody could have turned around and changed their game plan. I mean, nobody took that game to the scruff of the neck, including Martin Lynch, and did something about it.
All eyes were on Ulster, who'd produced the 1991 and 92 champions down in Donegal, and the 92 league champions Derry. All three were fancied in what's always a fiercely competitive struggle.
Mark McNeil then with this kick. Flicked on by McGurk. Still flicked, and here goes Houlihan. He crossed the 20-metre line, takes the shot. What a goal! What a magnificent goal by Jared Houlihan. And what a finish. Collects it, turns, and is allowed to run his reel inside, and there's John Reel. And there's a man over here, McCrish. Can he do it? He can! Bringing the work from outfield. Reel give the ball to McCrish, and now there's just a point between them. Now Shane McConville. And away goes Neil Smith to John Rafferty. And an important kick by the Armagh captain. And is he not pleased?
Like really, Fermanagh, if they had heart, and apart from Jared Houlihan, who cracks that super goal, yeah, Fermanagh had the match won.
Fermanagh play an awful lot of good football,
No,
but
that was a great, you know, no, that goal.
if you go out to play against them, I mean, your mentality is let's get them on their back foot, because their defence, I mean, from full forward line back, their defence is suspect.
Race this time won by Charlotte Burns. Burns fouled. And now a race. Gerard Houlihan got a goal 7 days ago. Can he get one today? It's still, yes, he's got the goal! Brian Carthy. It's still Brian Carthy. Gives it to McCreese. It's blocked, but it's in there! And the goal scorer is young Raymond Gallagher. Martin McQuillan will take it quickly towards Brimley. Again, it's Houlihan. And now a chance for Hollywood. A great save, but it's got in. It's in the back of the net. Dennis Hollywood has got the goal. The quick kick out. Michael McCaffrey. And now a chance for Hollywood. Can he get another goal? Yes, he can! Unbelievable stuff. Jerry McLaury looks at his watch. We've played 37 and a half minutes in this second half. McGurk down in front of goal. Fisted in! A goal! John Brimley! And this is absolutely incredible!
You don't like to proportion blame, but I know the manager actually accepted a lot of blame for that particular game, you know, and it was very unfair criticism as well, I suppose, but the players just stopped all over the pitch. It was unbelievable.
This was an extraordinary game.
Philip Smith. This David King. And now it's David Byrne, and Ray McCarron is all on his own. He crossed the 20-metre line, takes the shot with a left foot and places it magnificently into the corner of the net. Only Ray McCarron could have scored a goal with such ease as that. Edwin Murphy comes on the overlap. and finds McGinnity. The Drumhall man crosses the 30-metre line. He's pulled down. And now what's the decision? It's a penalty. It's Ray McCarron against Brendan McCormick. And McCarron wins. Punts it in towards Cahill. Cahill and McGurk. Cahill's got it. Tries to go past McGurk. He's brought to the ground. Play on, says the referee. Donald Cogan. His point was disallowed a few moments ago, but it's Donald Cogan, and is he not delighted at putting Cavan back into the lead again? So Moran elects to take it out of his hands. Noel Moran brings the sides level.
Now we talk about great goals, what about that?
You tell him we're more than a dummy anyway.
But McCarron came through this year for Monaghan like he hasn't been in the last few years. I mean, the crack in Ulster was the amount of weight he had lost and the amount of training he'd been doing, and certainly it showed. I mean, he had a tremendous year.
I have to say from the first match I fancied Cavan to win it because they looked the better side for so long.
Brendan Murray foul, gives it to Gerard Hoey. Chance now for Gerard Moan. Can Edward Murphy get the goal? It's a penalty. And he's got the goal. A first touch for Desi Brady. Nicely picked up by Adrian Lamb. Has plenty of space. Lamb cutting through the middle. Gives it down to Stephen King. King goes for the goal. He's got it. Stephen King has got the goal. Chance now for Michael Slowey. The goalkeeper has to come off his line. McGinnity tries to flick it in, but it's saved on the goal line. It's saved on the front. The flag has been raised and the Monaghan goal stands. Ray McCarron. Still McCarron. Kicks it in towards Noel Moran. A goal! Moran has got the goal! Indecision, perhaps with Carolyn. Plays it across towards Desi Brady. Brendan Gallagher! A goal for Cavan! Is it too little, too late? 3 points between the teams.
Cavan have such a great addition to an All-Ireland, haven't they? And yet in recent years they haven't been able to do much.
There's actually very good quality football in this game too, you know. A few fine scores taken. With the conditions. The conditions were wet there as well.
This was the match that everybody wanted to see. Derry against Down in the marshes.
That's right.
And for me, perhaps the most complete team performance of the year. Derry were just superb.
Barton picks it up. Brian Burns is after him. What a great ball by Barton. Here's Heaney, the man who put the ball into net in Santa Cork last year, gets a great goal on a brilliant start after 16 minutes for Derry. Still James McCartan. Drew the men, give it to Mason. Mason crashed into McGilligan, and now it's Greg Blaney, and once again a wonderful block by Seamus Downey. Rosscar picks up the block, kicks it over the bar. And at the moment, it's all Derry. Dermot Heaney. Still Heaney is a man outside him. Has to substitute Burns. Brilliantly saved by Collins. Ferris! Nobody could pick him up. He was the spur man in the field. And O'Gormley kicks it high. The ball hangs. And it ends up in the back of the net by Eamon Burns. What an inspirational substitution by Eamon Coleman.
We couldn't see any further than beating Down because, I mean, Down are a difficult side, they're a great side, and we expected to beat them. And I suppose if you call that overconfident, but not really, you know, you have to go in there confident, and I think it showed in the display we gave that day.
In a lot of clips there that we've seen, you see Derry midfielders, forwards, backs going through, running forward and just knocking the down players out of their way. And as far Derry are very, very strong, very big team, and definitely on that day it certainly helped them.
This was Donegal in the first round. They won okay, but they weren't that good.
10 minutes to go then as Brad Murray, the man who put the ball down, collects it yet again. Through the middle he goes, kicks over a point. Martin McHugh takes over it yet again. The conductor of the orchestra works his way through. Fires the shot in. Brilliantly over the bar. A typical Martin of 2 points.
Difficult assignment. I mean, they could have been beat. I mean, Antrim again, another county that are knocking the door up there for a couple of years, and they certainly put up the Donegal.
But it's a case again of, you know, All Ireland champions first round. Exactly. Anything can happen. But I mean, the Antrims, the Fermanagh, they're all good football sides. And actually, Antrim that day played a lot of good football. But their biggest problem was again they couldn't finish.
Armagh, the draw specialist, okay, in the athletic grounds against Tyrone.
Beautiful fielding by Mark McNeil. And there's no doubt that at the moment anyway, the Armagh defence are playing with a lot of confidence. There's opposite number however, Faye Devlin. And the Arboe man pumps it in towards McLean, and McLean is slipped. And into the back of the net. Matty McLean. No short passing game from Tyrone. The long punted kick. McLean tries to pick out the centre half forward McCaffrey. Here comes Kieran Loughlin. From Kieran Loughlin. The speed that Finbar McConnell kicks these balls at makes them very difficult to hold, especially if they come in low. That ball there was well collected by McLean, and here comes Kieran Corr again. Hanneman outside him, opted for the point. The Armagh captain John Rafferty to Houlihan. And there's Cian McGurk. Plenty of space for McGurk. Fists it over the bar. And Cian McGurk brings the side level. 11 minutes to go.
The goal was disallowed at that stage from Matty McLean.
Actually, he wasn't in the square.
He wasn't interfering with play, there's no doubt about that.
But as you say, it's like anything else, it's a wee bit of luck.
Yeah.
It's your day. On another day, it would have been allowed.
That's right.
I think it was a very good goal, and it was the difference, I suppose, in Tyrone progressing really at the end of the day, and Armagh progressing.
Well, this was the replay. And for long periods again, Tyrone on top.
McQuillan. Pumpkin Donaghy. Kieran Loughlin. Tackled by Hanratty. Gives it to Eamon McCaffrey. McCaffrey gets the point. A chance now for Mackin. He's inside the big square. Looks for the penalty. Surely that's a penalty. A brilliant goal. Brimley kicks. Marsden goes for it. And now a chance for the equaliser. Gerard Houlihan has let the goal. An absolute stunner. Towards Plunkett Donaghy. Donaghy collects. Gets the ball in. A chance of a goal. What a great save by Brendan Tierney. Kieran Loughlin took the kick. A superb save by Brendan Tierney.
And this was a great goal again, Houlihan. That's very good. He was happy, wasn't he? But Armagh deserved it, because Armagh had the spirit. The championship spirit.
Championship spirit, exactly.
Well, they came the hard way to that too, and everybody really wanted to see them do well. And most neutrals wanted to see them win that game.
We move on to the semi-final now, and you played at Casement Park against Monaghan. And to be fair, as we would say, Monaghan were up for it.
The fences are in the ascendancy. Maganini, crossfield ball this time. We've lost track of the number of times Jared Moon has got the ball today. What a score by Moon! Aaron McCarran only as far as Carl Diamond. Heaney gets it. Brawley runs into a cul-de-sac, switches onto the left foot. Delightful improvisation by Joe Brawley. Heaney's in pursuit. Big Castle Dawson man puts it in. Yet again, Enda Gormley's under it. Fist goes over. That was a classic score. Anthony Tuchel looks up, sees a man in front, and almost found him. Brawley has got it. Still Joe Brawley. Throws it up. And the substitute has scored 3 delightful points since he come on in the second half.
Well, we were on a hiding to nothing, shall we say, but we expected to win the match, and even whenever the game was close, we still knew we had something else there, and the fact that Joe came on that day and showed his true colours helped as well.
Now, on the other side, Donegal played Armagh in Breffni Park. It was going to go to another replay, which was quite amazing. And Donegal got out of jail.
And Houlihan. For once, Bates Gallagher gets inside him, still Jared Houlihan. The transfer to Marsden. Marsden was brought down. Rinley gets it. And we have a penalty in Breffni Park.
But Gallagher's nose, Marsden going flying past him. The ball slipped in. And there was the foul. Barry McGowan, the culprit.
Here he comes. The goal's in the net. Kieran McGurk. Hanratty didn't get it. Tommy Ryan did. Ryan holds it up. Feeds it to Bonner. Tinney's off his line. Great combination by the fullback Dominic Clark. Donegal have scored a point. Neesmith continues. The ball goes into the middle. A breaking ball. Johnny Turner's there. Turner up. Over the bar. Armagh lead by 2.
There's no place for the faint-hearted out there. Challenge has gone in right, left and centre.
Bonner gets it. Bonner holds on to it. Tries to force his way through. Gets it back into the substitute. And John Duffy cuts Armagh's lead to 2 points. And is there still a twist in the tail as Gallagher throws it in. The substitute Duffy gets it. Duffy kicks it high. Duffy kicks it over the bar as the sides are level in the dying second.
Brian McAniff had a big hand there. I mean, he brought on John Duffy and a midfielder, and really the two of them turned the game. I think it was Duffy actually that scored the winning point, or the equalising point, sorry.
Were Armagh beaten before the next 70 minutes of championship football to lose the match like that?
But I think you have to be very, very good to win it the next day. We saw it would have happened Bextra this year against Kilkenny and against Cork in the league. You know, when you feel you should have a game won, it's much more difficult to do it again the following day.
Paul Carr. And now it's Joyce McMullen. Tackled Furley. And in the net! John Duffy, the civil service man, the man who brought the two teams back today, has got Donegal off to the perfect start. And Declan Boyle, a young man with a checkered career. He's had spells with Finn Harps and trials with Aston Villa. Duffy is the man who collects, and Duffy drives it over. Murray has a man inside him. That man is Mark McShane. McShane, Tierney's off his line, and Neesmith attempts, but can't do anything about it as Donegal get off to a dream start. Now who got a touch? Hanratty up towards Mackin. Well held by Mackin. And Houlihan has gone through. Is this the tonic Armagh going to get? What a shot by Houlihan! Jared Houlihan has brought Armagh back into the game. Back come Donegal again. John Duffy. No problem to Duffy. No problem to Donegal.
People forget the spate of injuries which Donegal had right through the Ulster Championship. The fact that they did so well and came so close to retain their title, I think, was a tremendous credit.
This was the Ulster final everybody wanted. The reigning All-Ireland champions against Derry in Clonus. Conditions weren't good, but good game.
The new seat of Derry and the famous hill of Clonus, but still a vantage point for thousands of fans as it has been over the years. Donegal worked their way out again. Back come Derry, McCusker, Gormley. He decides to try his luck from way out in the wing, and that's a sign of a classy player. And now Anthony Toll decided to try his luck with his left foot. Beautiful feeling by Damien Cassidy, and that shot from the wing by Damien Cassidy brings the sides level after 30 minutes. The Donegal point scorer Joyce McMullen crossed the 45, runs into Tony Scullion, a beautiful transfer to Paul Carr, and Carr, who scored a point against Armagh, certainly had an opportunity there, decided to transfer to Martin McHugh and puts Donegal back into the lead again. They managed to replace the balance, and how he managed to come out with that, I don't know. And now an opportunity. And here's Darren McNichol. McNichol introduced as a substitute, makes his point. Barton couldn't get it, but Paul Carr didn't. And what's more important, Derry retained possession. Damien Cassidy. Cassidy moves in. A lovely right-footed chip by Cassidy puts Derry in the lead. And Anthony Toll emerges with it. Looks for support. Barton. Will he try his luck? He does! And finds the target. The Ulster Council Chairman congratulates Henry Downey and hands over the most precious piece of silverware in Gaelic football.
holding up the point of the attack. Fisting it to Paul Clark. Trying to open it up inside to Desi Farrell. Back to Pat Gilroy, looking for another score. McCusker will watch, but he can't do much about it as it sails over the bar. To Barton. I think he spotted that John McGurk was waiting for the pass just outside, took his eye off it, and Dublin regained possession. It's with Deegan. Charlie Redmond, 45 metres out, heard a call from Paul Curran, kicking, and that's another great point. Inevitably, Jack Sheedy, always the hub of the activity. Heary firing it forward to Vinnie Murphy. He's getting on the ball quite a lot in this match. Getting out there ahead of his man time and again. Phelan now kicking. This will be a fine point. If he can make it, he does. That's a great score.
Dublin have played well for the last 15 minutes, but I'm sure Derry won't be that worried about being 5 down. The wind is very strong.
It's half time. Tommy Sugrue whistling up proceedings. A first half in which Dublin were slow to settle with their shooting, but Charlie Redmond got 5 points for Pat O'Neill's team, and at half time it's Dublin who lead by 9 points to 4. Keith Barr still centre half back. Paul Curran is to his right. McDeegan is to his left, a bit like old times in the Dublin half back line. So it's Derry who have the wind at their backs, and McGilligan launching the first attack. Joe Brolly, held by Paul O'Neill. Dissecting the post, but not quite getting it over. Keith Barr coming out with it. Derry regrouping, Damien Barton, and the referee again indicating at a flamboyant wave of the arms that it's going to be a free in. It will be Anthony Tohill who will hit this one. And as in the first half, Derry get the first point of the second half. A second point by Anthony Tohill. Dublin considering the option of a fresh man. They're warming up a sub across on the far side of the field as we watch Enda Gormley chip it ahead. Nicely from Seamus Downey. That's a lovely ball transfer there to Coleman. Gary Coleman going by, fisting, and he's put the ball over the bar. Good use of the fist there by Gary Coleman. Kicking towards the left-hand side. Vinnie Murphy with Paul Clark. Clark has it. Great block down there by Tony Scully. It comes back again to Clark. Scoring chance here for Paul Clark, and he makes the most of it at the second attempt. Vinnie is on the left-hand side, hoping to profit by this kick ahead by Charlie Redmond. Cut out, however, very convincingly by Tony Scully, who's led the line well. Anthony Tohill finding Joe Brolly. 16 minutes gone in the second half. On towards Seamus Downey. Transferred back once again here to Dermot Heaney. Heaney giving it to Enda Gormley. Another ambitious kick sails over the crossbar, and there are just 2 points between the teams. Gilroy to turn, or McGalvin rather. Charlie Redmond hitting this one, and he's found the range. From McGalvin's pass, Charlie Redmond gets his 7th score in the semi-final. It's scrambled loose to Kieran Walsh. Players available for it, but it's Enda Gormley. This is a goal chance. Still Gormley, Joe Brolly. Oh, he's put it over the bar. There's one between them, but that should have been a Derry goal. Tohill, that's a great catch. One of the finest pieces of fielding we've seen this afternoon. Dublin slow to retreat. Free quickly taken again towards Joe Brolly. Mick Deegan pulls him down. Derry will get the free kick. It's taken quickly up there towards the full forward Seamus Downey. Downey going by. Derry need a score. Pulled down, free in, chance of the equaliser. Kieran Walsh arguing furiously, but it was Seamus Downey. Enda Gormley can tie up the match. There'll be 7 minutes still to go. It's tight, but it's in. Pitched it down by Brian McGilligan. They race for it. It's Seamus Downey racing against Kieran Walsh. Transferred magnificently to Enda Gormley. Players inside Gaelic. One of them is Gary Coleman. The other is Henry Downey. Ali at his feet. Henry Downey finishing, and he puts it over the bar. The team captain gets a second point of the match, and Derry are in front. They led by 3 points to no score earlier on. They've come back strongly. It's been a great second half, and he's led by example. Is it to be disappointment once again for the Dubs? There's plenty of time remaining. Vinnie Murphy. Good ball across. Breaks down towards Charlie Redmond. He's fouled by Brian McGilligan, and that's a free in for Dublin. Charlie Redmond can make it 14 points apiece. Reverential hush on Hill 16 to give him every advantage. He doesn't need it. The cheer on the hill. 5 minutes to go. What a climax. Possession now absolutely critical. That's fisted down there by Paul Beelan. Picked up by Joe Brolly, turning towards the post. A little solo by Brolly. McNichol beating it back once again to Henry Downey. Outside it goes towards Johnny McGurk. McNichol calling for it. That's McGurk, and he's put it over the bar. Johnny McGurk. A name that is synonymous with great football in County Derry. They've given such great service to McGurk family, to Larby teams and Derry down the years. Is that a winner? We're in injury time. This has to be it. Dublin have the free kick taken by Jack Sheedy. Is there time for one last attack? Is there a possible equaliser? Will Derry hold on? Huge cheers from the Northern following. All the different counties of Ulster, I think, are represented here, supporting their champions. It's all over! Derry are in the final! McGurk celebrates, Tohill celebrates. It's going to be a first ever Derry versus Cork All-Ireland football final. I hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have. And Derry win by a mere point. It's Derry 15 points, Dublin 14. What a match.
Would have bet my house a Dublin victory at half-time.
There was some turnaround, Joe.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's very hard to put your finger on it. A couple of things happened. I mean, Joe Brolly really, came of age, if you like, in the second half. He went amazing with the ball. I think we had coped quite well in midfield for most of the game, and which was rated to be, Derry's strong point. But as far as I'm concerned, I think the Derry half-back line won the game for them.
That's a moment that will live long in the memory.
I mean, the amazing thing was everybody knew he was going to score except people who didn't know Johnny McGurk, because I think he plays sometimes more on his left than he does on his right.
Yeah, well, they're the type of scorers you say. It's not my day today.
Well, what contrasting semi-finals. A real nail-biter between Derry and Dublin, with just 1 point separating them, and a comparative stroll for Cork, brushing aside the challenge of a somewhat disappointing Mayo. So the scene was set for a pulsating final. It was Derry last here in 1958 and looking for their very first All-Ireland title against the 6 times winners Cork, most recently in 1990, who came to Croke Park very determined that the Sam Maguire would not go north to Ulster for a third successive year. Sunday, September the 19th, 1993 was to be quite a day.
deafening noise from the two sets of supporters. But now it's all down to the 15 players. So now a chance to check on the respective teams this afternoon. The Cork lineup was widely predicted once doubts about Niall Cahalán's fitness had eased. The lion-hearted Castlehaven man takes his usual corner-back spot in a side that shows one change from the semi-final formation. Teddy McCarthy returns to midfield to partner Shea Fahy, the luckless one being American-born Danny Cullity, the danger man in attack, no doubt about it, John O'Driscoll and Colin Corkery, number 13. So 35 years after the last appearance by a Derry team in an All-Ireland final, this is the team representing the Oakleaf County, brilliantly skippered by Henry Downey. It shows one alteration in personnel from the side that began against Dublin. Danny Quinn is omitted. Tony Scullion gets another sample of life at full back. The newcomer is Fergal McCusker, known as Fergal P. McCusker, though whether he plays cornerback or wing back is a source of much speculation. The wind is particularly strong, supporting Derry for the opening 35 minutes. It has to be worth 3-4 points if it's well used. And that gentleman there looks a little uncomfortable, but the tickets have been so hard to come by. They've been saying down in Cork that the only tickets available in the last week have been bus tickets. Tommy Howard is ready. So we wish the teams well. The 104th All-Ireland final is underway. Shea Fahy touching it down to Teddy McCarthy. We'll be anxious to see just whether their fitness will sustain a full 70 minutes as Kieran O'Sullivan is fouled in possession. Anthony Tohill, big tall player. Stephen O'Brien slipping as he kicks that ball in towards Corkery. He rolls up magnificently for it. There against Gary Coleman, remember, that's the marking alignment. Needing support, getting it from Joe Kavanagh. Ground looking a little slippery early on. The movement here on the ball produces Mick McCarthy in the attack. Chased over there the whole time by Dermot Heaney. Cork settling better. Tony Davis with the first attempt for a score, and he's put it over the bar. Tony Davis playing in his 25th championship match, getting up to give Cork the lead. Damien McCusker yet to be beaten in this year's championship, hasn't conceded a goal. Shea Fahy and Teddy McCarthy beaten by McGilligan, who fisted that one on. Kieran O'Sullivan towards Teddy McCarthy. Poor marking by Derry. Don Davis getting well away from Fergal McCusker. Being allowed the opportunity to set up the attacks. The initiative has been seized early on by Cork, and it's Joe Kavanagh into the breach. There's a goal on here for Cork, and he gets it! A goal by Joe Kavanagh after 5 minutes. Derry were standing back. Cork came forward. Joe Kavanagh's third goal of the championship, beating the cover. And Cork emphatically ahead. Barry Coffey trying to hold up his progress. Dermot Heaney. Damien Barton now, looking for a Derry score to settle down his team. It's Johnny McGurk. He can do it against Dublin, now he's done it against Cork. The player from Lavi, raising Derry spirits. Well, Barry Coffey has been marked tightly, and McGilligan has it. Inside towards Enda Gormley, breaks the ball down there. Damien Cassidy going back to recover possession, trying to go by Niall Cahalán, avoiding the block, hit in invitingly. Mark O'Connor was sure, and it's a goal! And the referee says it's a valid goal. Seamus Downey, the goal scorer, was outside the square, made his run in. But if you see it again in replay, you'll note that the fullback Mark O'Connor wasn't absolutely certain about whether to attack the ball or not.
Damien Cassidy does very well and puts it across, but there's complete hesitation. John Kearns in position, nobody seems to shout, and Seamus Downey does very well for full power, gets in and gets his fist to it, and that's a brilliant goal to give Derry a great boost.
So Derry have gone in front. This the attack again, a bit of hesitation. Downey wasn't hesitating, and he gets a fine goal. And towards the goal scorer, Seamus Downey, brother of the team captain, now Johnny McGurk. Tohill steadying himself, beating the attempted block by Teddy McCarthy, and he's put the ball high and he's put it over. That's a wonderful point. A second point by Anthony Trohill. Here he is again. Now John Davis. Once again there's a space in front of him as Gary Coleman and Fergal McCusker trying to prevent the way, and Mick McCarthy has a shot brilliantly blocked by Damien McCusker. What John Kearns can do at one end, McCusker can do at the other. Fergal McCusker now. Ball in over the head of Mark O'Connor. Seamus Downey racing for possession. He's got players to aim at. One of them is Joe Brolly. Brolly going by Brian Corcoran. That's been a successful ploy so far. Joe Brolly kicking it over the bar. The first of the day for Brolly. Good ball chipped into the centre. Don Davis getting onto it. It was a high challenge from Gary Coleman, but it reaches Colin Corkery. Corkery, Heaney is against him there, and that's kicked over the bar. Colin Corkery with another score, a third point for Colin Corkery. Again, Barry Coffey was the target. This time Barry Coffey adjudged to have fouled John McGurk, who takes the free kick himself. A Derry player on the ground. The jeering from the Derry fans. Referee, having not seen the incident, allows play to continue. Damien Barton. This is Joe Brolly looking for a score for Derry. It's gone to the right. So is Niall the guilty one? Tommy Howard is content with the lecture, and Niall Cahalan is a very lucky man. Well, perhaps his umpires didn't see what happened quite clearly, in which case there shouldn't have been any booking in the first place. Here's Niall Cahalan, he's got a lead off, and now he's been injured. So the game just turning a little bit nasty and angry. Niall Cahalan is still on the ground. It's Fergal McCusker launching the attack for Derry, who lead by 1-7 to 1-6. Gormley, the player who was injured with that box earlier on, drives it in high and he puts it over the bar. A third point for Enda Gormley, a first from play, and he makes his point there to Niall Cahalan as he comes out. Might be worth keeping an eye on those two for the rest of the match. Just a minute to go to half time now, two between them. Derry's Dermot Heaney, the taker of the free, down towards Mark O'Connor, broke away from him, and the Derry player with Cahalan and Tony Davis effectively fouling the attacker. It looked an ill-timed tackle, but not malicious by any manner of means.
No, certainly I don't think that was...
Oh, he's been sent off. Oh, that's going to be one of the major talking points of this final. Enda Gormley winning that challenge there with Niall Cahalan. Gormley getting free, getting support as well. The kick here is high, comes off the post there from Gary Coleman, back into play, and it ends up going over the bar. Enda Gormley the point scorer. That's 4 points for Enda Gormley from this match. Derry are finishing the half very convincingly. 3 points to the good with the wind at their backs. Will that be sufficient?
Well, a great chance of a point, a great move by Derry, comes back off the top of the post, and the players coming in have the advantage here. Enda Gormley doing very well. Since he got that punch from Niall Cahalan, he's improved considerably.
It's half time. Enda Gormley scored 4 points in that first half. Cork took a commanding lead in the opening 7 minutes with a Joe Kavanagh goal after 5. Seamus Downey's goal after 15. Gormley, one of the Derry heroes from the first half, but the controversial sending off of Tony Davis after 35 minutes, one of the big talking points. And so, at half time, Derry 1-9, Cork 1-6. It's Derry who lead by 3 points. So Dermot McNichol is into the Derry team, who have the full 15 against the 14 men from Cork. Referee trying to make sure that everybody is inside the 45-metre line. They're not by any manner of means, but he's not going to hold up the game any longer. Cork get the free. Shea Fahy the taker. But there are 3 points between the teams. Mick McCarthy trying to go forward, trying to get something for Cork here. Shot partially blocked down. The rain coming down once more, making it very unpleasant. Jersey of Damien Barton was tugged. Now Dermot McNichol, a buzz of anticipation as he attacks the Cork goal. Henry Downey, shoulder there by Barry Coffey. Downey's a top operator. This is Dermot McNichol looking for another point for Derry, and the umpires signal that there's 3 points between them. McNichol's first point of the second half. The contest at midfield won by Cork. Don Davis, Gary Coleman just moving away from him. Little chip inside. John O'Driscoll coming in. He scored! John O'Driscoll puts Cork back in front. His first time to get into the attack in a meaningful way. His first score of the match, his first goal.
Well, a great ball across from Don Davis. Picks out John O'Driscoll coming through. Nobody marking him, and he sticks it away. It's about the first time he's got a chance of the whole game. That's a brilliant goal for Cork.
Well, he'd been having a great season. Lovely, clever ball inside. The defence indicted, however. They were moving out en masse. That's a splendid strike. This is Henry Downey again. It's a measured build-up by Derry, playing into the wind. They're trying to control the pace of the attack if at all possible. This is Joe Brolly. Good ball for Brolly. Takes off such good angles, an injection of pace into the attack. Here's Brolly, fisting, and he's put it against the post, and it's back in there, and it's gone wide. Seamus Downey had the last touch on that one, but unable to get a second goal for Derry. Fergal McCusker. Good run out, stumbling over, the referee says play on. Dermot McNichol now. Getting a bit of encouragement from the Derry fans. That's Seamus Downey, or Dermot Heaney rather. Heaney and Downey looking so alike. It's Heaney outside to Gormley. Gormley looking for the score, and it's the equaliser for Derry. Enda Gormley with the 5th point of the match. So the teams are level. McGilligan over there contesting with Shea Fahy. Fahy knocking it down to his wing back, who was anticipating, but it's back with McGilligan again. Ball picked up there by Johnny McGurk, laid forward here. Henry Downey in full charge. On it goes to Damien Barton for Derry. They're looking now for the lead score. It's a free in. The arms in the air there of Seamus Downey, saluting a fine run through the centre by Damien Barton. But there was a good injection of pace just a moment or two ago there from Henry Downey. And fitness is certainly going to play a huge part in the last minutes of this final. Ball coming off the post, but going over safely. Anthony Toho with a 3rd point. Johnny McGurk towards Joe Brolly, very much the danger man in attack for Derry. And again the referee's whistle has sounded just as Joe Brolly was in the clear. That was for a foul there on Eamon Burns by Mark O'Connor. Time now ebbing away. 8 minutes to go. Gormley.
Come on, Johnny! Come on, Johnny!
McGurk on his left boot, and he's put it over the bar. Johnny McGurk with a 2nd point. 2 between them. Is it to be Derry's day? It'll be a frantic last 6 or 7 minutes now, you can be sure of that. John O'Driscoll up towards Colin Corkery, fisted down by Tony Scully. What a match he's had. Tohill here, running into a challenge there from the number 11, who is Joe Kavanagh. Henry Downey now, skipping away there from John Cleary. McGurk again. So many McGurks, 6 in all, have played for Derry with great distinction down the years. Is this to be the biggest day in the county's history? The referee says play on. McGurk again steadying himself, and Barry Coffey this time catches him high, and the referee reaching for the notebook. McGurk in need of attention. Barry Coffey had put out the right hand to try and restrain him, accepting the referee's judgment, taking the lecture. It's a very high challenge indeed, but I feel Barry Coffey had his right hand out to try and restrain McGurk, but caught him very badly. This is important. It's gone over the bar. Gormley with the 6th point. 3 points from frees for Enda Gormley. He got 3 from play as well, and he's opened up a 3-point gap. It's looking good for the Oakleaf County of Derry. Down it goes to Stephen O'Brien. This has to be it for Cork as McGurk slips. McGilligan goes back. It's Stephen O'Brien against Derry. Still Stephen O'Brien, and the referee says it's going to be a free back. The whistle had sounded, but O'Brien was doing it all on his own, it seemed, against Derry. So Derry must live on their nerves. Likewise the Cork lads. A great rallying run that time by Stephen O'Brien. So it's all down to this. Cork must get a goal, otherwise it's Derry's title. That's hit in and it's gone out, and they're arguing inside as to whether it's a 45 or not. And I think Tommy Howard has informed Cork that time is almost up. Kieran O'Sullivan will be the taker. There'll be a big invasion by Derry men if Cork fail to get a goal here. It's a tall order. In it goes. Comes out to Enda Gormley. Derry lift the siege and Derry are the champions! Derry win the All-Ireland final of 1993. Sam Maguire is going north for a 3rd successive year. Damien Barton and Gary Coleman did the business. The fans can celebrate up on Hill 16. More of them have made their way onto the field. It was a stirring encounter. Derry did well. They held on to win by 3 points, but Cork reduced to 14 men after the dismissal of Tony Davis right on the call of half-time. That may well have been the difference between the teams in the end. Who knows? But history will record that Derry are champions for the first time in their history. They win the title by 3 points. Confirmation of the final score. It's Derry 114, Cork 2 goals and 8.
Our captain, Warren Dara, our Henry Downey.
Peter Quinn makes the presentation, and it's Henry Downey who takes Sam back to Derry. Oh, Sammy boy, they'll sing tonight. As I was saying, it's a very popular victory. It really will be. Cork bitterly disappointed, no doubt, but they'll be the first, knowing their sporting nature, to say to Derry, well done.